On today's episode, where has Projectonegaming been? What's going on right now? And what's coming up? As I'm your host, Will D, you are the tabletop community, and this is Projectonegaming. What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1. Now, I should technically call it 1.5 maybe because I did film the first episode with my son, which I'm going to plug the video in, so excuse the edit. The background's going to look all different. We didn't have the microphone. But the biggest reason why I didn't post that video was because some of the video that I actually recorded, I didn't realize the camera wasn't recording at all, so I was talking to myself the whole entire time and kind of lost the opportunity to edit the video properly. So I'm going to plug in that video right now because we do talk about some of the things that are coming up in October, and I was really excited to have my son on camera with me, and that's a very important thing. So I'm going to skip over to that video right now, and then we'll come back to the here and now. What is up, everybody? Will D at Projectonegaming, and welcome to episode number 1. I have someone very special with me. This is my son, Dominic. Now, why do I have Dominic with me? Well, October is right around the corner, and in October,
it's Halloween.
You're right, it's Halloween, and Halloween is filled with all sorts of costumes and scary stuff, right?
And sometimes they look gross.
Sometimes they look gross. So, the other things that happen in October, especially in this community, and I pray he's still working on it, my main man, Warboss Tay, shout out to you, brother, would do Spooky-tober. And in Spooky-tober, he would get this community to paint some gross and nasty and scary looking models. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on Dominic's Kill Team Army, which we'll go over in just a second. And I want to also mention that October is also Orktober. A little play on words. Is that kind of silly? No. I tried. Orktober. Alright, so what I'm going to be working on for Orktober, my main man Garrett is going to be building a Kill Team Army. Of course, he picked Ork. So we're going to go everything from the list build, to the assembly, to the painting, and throw in some tutorials in there. And that's going to fill up most of October, along with Spooky-tober. Now, I mentioned that you might have a little project for Dominic. Dom, what army did you pick? Out of any army my son could have picked for Warhammer 40K, he picked
Death Guard.
Death Guard, the grossest looking models out there.
I really just say it's ugly.
Okay, they're ugly. So, as you can see over here, we got some of the models laid out. Obviously it's just the screw form, but throughout the month we're going to build, assemble, we're going to look at the book and figure out, how he wants his army to play. Dom, why'd you pick these guys?
Because Halloween's coming up, and sometimes Halloween has very gross and cool costumes and scary stuff, so
I think that's a good reason.
yeah.
And you know what? Daddy's going to have a fun time painting up some gross models. We're going to use some blood effects and just make these guys look super, super nasty. Kind of like that. So that's it for Dom. Dom, my man. Are you going to show up in Daddy's videos a little bit more?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. We're going to find some more projects to work on. And every time I give an update on the Death Guard, you going to come join?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Dom's also going to help paint and build and get into this hobby. Start him young, folks. You got anything to say, Dom? To the beautiful people in YouTube land? No. You want to dab on it? No? All right, everybody, that's it for Dom. I'll be back in just a minute to give you more details about what's going on in the Project One gaming world. Say bye, Dom.
Bye.
All right, so as you can see, a lot of things going down in October, and I was really excited to have my son with me, and he was excited to be with me. And, you know, as I said in the video, as silly as it kind of got, it is important to involve your kids and family and close ones in the hobby that you love. And what better to do than have my son with me? And we're going to work on the Death Guard. It's going to be a really fun time just to have him next to me and, you know, and doing all the things that I like to do. So let's talk about what's going on here, or let's talk about what happened to me. So honestly, life happened. Some big personal changes kind of went down, and I decided that I was going to take a step in a different direction for my career, and I stepped into the medical field. I became an EMT. And then I ended up in the world of dialysis. So that's currently what I'm doing as a full-time job. I'm a dialysis technician. And then, you know, this is kind of my side gig. And, you know, who knows, maybe one day this can be my main gig, and that would be awesome. But, you know, helping people is an awesome feeling. And to have an awesome outlet like this is great. And, you know, just to be back into the community of tabletop is probably one of the best feelings in the world, because I get to interact with so many different people from so many different countries, and it's just awesome. I don't know what more to say than it's just awesome. So I got a lot of things going on right now as far as projects, and I'm not really sure where to start, but let's start with what I said in the video. It is October now. It is officially October. It's October the 3rd right now. So Orktober has officially begun, and as I mentioned in the video that I threw in there, I'm working on a kill team for my boy Garrett over at EMG, which I'll talk about EMG a little bit later in the video. And yeah, Ork are awesome, man. I have so much fun building Ork. They just have some of the best looking kits, if you ask me. And yeah. And then Garrett got talking about the Speed Freaks that are going to be coming out, and not being an Orc player, I'm really excited for it. It looks really Mad Max-like, and yeah, the Ghost-Faced Killas are coming back, the Rust Orc project that I did a few years ago. I'm going to change the skin tone up. I'm going to try to do like a more ash tone, gray scale for their skin, which is really different for Orc, but I feel like it's really going to help make the rust effects pop out. So that's October, and I'm also working on some kill teams. Let me switch on over to my table camera, and you can see this is one of the projects I'm working on. It's Deathcore Creek, but who knows if they're going to be normal IG or whatever the new things are. I'm so out of date with 40K. It's not even funny. They change names on me and things like that. But in any case, I'm making a kill team out of these guys. The reason why I'm like so excited about kill team is because, you know, 40K itself, I feel like, you know, when I would work on custom pieces, because I really love conversion work and, you know, making models unique. You know, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, or even 10 of them, and then you put them in a big army, a big Space Marine army, or Orc army, Tau army, whatever it is, and, you know, they kind of fall into the mass. They're not as noticeable. But here in Kill Team, you know, you can individualize each and every person, and they will stand out because of, you know, how small scale it is. So it's a very, you know, personalized style game, you know, and it's a faster paced game. You know, you're not spending hours and hours playing the game and getting fatigued off that, so that's kind of cool. So yeah, the Deathcore I'm working on for myself, and I'm also working on a Necron, which I don't want to show anything just yet until all the pieces are in, but you'll probably remember I'm a huge Necron fan, and even though they don't look super strong in Kill Team, I really don't care. I love Necron, so that's what we're going to do there. I got a docket here. It's been a little while since I've been on camera, so I have a whole list of things that I want to talk about. So you're going to have to forgive me until I get a little more comfortable being in front of the camera. All right, so one of the things that I'm also going to be working on in October. So we got our kill teams. We got Orktober, Spookytober. Let's talk about Spookytober. And as I'm talking about Spookytober, I'm going to play on my phone because I got to pull something up and give a big shout out. So in that video, I was talking about Warboss Tay. Big shout out to Warboss Tay. I miss you. That was my dude. Warboss Tay and I first met, through the community for his Spookytober that he puts on. And it looks like he's got a lot going on, and he's pretty busy. I haven't heard back from him for good reason. I actually watched some of his videos, and I found out why I haven't heard back from him. That's because my dude is making books now. And I'm going to put this right in your face. I'm going to try to get to the cover screen here. And if you like anything scary, check this book out. It was like $2 on the Apple Store. Oh man, my light is going to jack that up. Can we get there? And, come on. Killer Space Clown? For real? So I started reading that, and it's awesome. So shout out to my boy Warboss Tay, doing new things that he loves, new adventure. So with saying that, Tay, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to try to borrow your torch for a minute. And if Warboss Tay isn't doing Spookytober, I'm going to do Spookytober. So the way Spookytober is going to work is I want you guys to pick your grossest, nastiest, scariest, whatever model you want to work on. And anytime I do an update on Dominic's Kill Team Army, which is going to be my Spookytober entry, I want you guys to post your videos in the comments so I can check out your work, talk about what you're doing, and have a lot of fun with it. It's the whole point of Spookytober, but just, pick something creepy and weird and Halloween-like, because, that's the whole point. So, also, again, Warboss Tay, get that book, $2. Come on, man. It's such a smooth read. Some spooky stuff. So, Spookytober, that's what we got going on there. Another thing that I'm working on in October that's big for me, and I'm going to click on over to a different screen, is I'm a big Gundam fan, and I stopped at a local store and got my hands on one of these flyers, and this is actually going to be my first competition I ever have competed in, especially for this hobby, and I'm going to be pulling a Zaku. So check it out. All right, so it's a Gunpla building competition, and the date, obviously it ends in the middle of November, so I have a little time to work on it. I am going to discuss this with the shop owners. The base size is not to exceed a certain size. However, I'm going in the class 3 custom open, and they do put diorama in there, so how are you supposed to make a diorama on something so small? So I'm going to work that out. But yeah, I'm going to go into the class 3. I'm going all out. And the really cool thing about this, the reason why I have the Mark II prototype Gundam is that is one of the models that they're actually giving away just because they like an entry. Even if that model itself doesn't fare well in the competition, doesn't make first, second, or third place, and you don't win any of the gift cards or anything like that. It's just a completely different thing. They were telling me that this is just like hey, we really like this model, so congratulations, you get a $175 model. So I think that's pretty awesome. So I'm going to be doing a Zaku. Now, how does this benefit you guys? Well, the big kick, I'm going to go back to the picture so you can see. Here's the big kicker. If you're reading down this list here, let me see. Oh, kit must be purchased there, and I must have proof of purchase. Now, I bought a Zaku model from there a while ago, and I don't have the receipt for it. So I had to go buy a new one, which is fine. Which is fine because, you got to have the receipt with it. I get it. They don't want you, going off Amazon or whatever. But this is the model that I picked. Excuse the harsh light. Find a good place for it. Maybe in the middle of the light. Nowhere. Okay. Any case, you get the picture. This Zaku. So it's, the high grade. and Zaku 2, 1/144th. And yeah, that can sit there like that. So obviously this one's empty because that's the one I'm working on. But I had to buy one for proof of purchase. So I'm giving this one away. And the way that you can win this Zaku, which is the exact Zaku that I'm working on, is by liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment on this video. And anytime I do an update on the Gundam build, or the mobile suit build, people knock on me because the Zaku's not a Gundam. So on the mobile suit build updates, anytime I post a video on that, leave a comment below. I will go through my subscribers when the competition is all done, and I will select someone who has subscribed to the channel, and we'll work out something for shipping too. I'll probably go halvesies with you on that. So that's like a $30 model right there that you can get for free just by liking and subscribing to Projectonegaming. So hey, the community gets something out of this too, and I get to have some fun. All right, so one other thing that I did a thing, and with my son alongside me, I personally like to go on Kickstarter. If you guys don't know what Kickstarter is a website, where people go on and, try to get their projects funded. And sometimes there's some really cool stuff. I picked up Kingdom Death before on that. I saw a really cool Hellboy one, but I missed the mark of picking that up. But one that me and my son picked out was Power Rangers, Heroes of the Grid. And man, so as you can see, it's just still frames, but there's some models there that are painted and unpainted. Man, they just look awesome. So it's a really cool card/model game. So, something for me and my son to have fun with. But you know what? I grew up on Power Rangers, so I'm down with it. And if you see in the lower left-hand corner, you can kind of see the size of the models themselves, and you betcha I got that Megazord as well. So it's just going to be awesome. So I'll have a whole, once the game comes in, it's not going to be here till probably summertime they were projecting, because, they got to actually make the models and everything like that. But once it comes out in summertime, I'll probably dedicate a whole month or figure out a way to break it all down and do some Power Ranger painting tutorials and video updates and everything like that. So that's awesome. So if you guys have any suggestions on Kickstarter, especially models, let me just say I'm looking for model type games, because obviously I build and sell and I paint models, so I don't really want to invest in a card game or a dice game. I'm looking for some sweet models. All right, so what else? What else is going on here? All right, so in the background, you can't really see, I finally reset up my studio in the dungeon down here. But some of the other games I'm going to be working on is the Batman miniatures game. And I'm really excited about that, actually. There are some really nice looking models. But I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to paint all the models that I get for that game. As of right now, I have Batman, and he comes with like 3 police officers. And then I got Nightwing to go along with him, so as a little starter army, if you want to call that. I also have the rule book. And I also got Ra's al Ghul and, his ninjas. And one guy looks like a big, huge samurai, and awesome. And then I got Deadshot to go along with them. I also want to get Deathstroke in there too, as hired hitman. So just like a whole assassin type army. But the way I'm going to challenge myself is I'm going to paint all of them like a comic book. So nothing but black and white. I'm going to literally use black paint and white paint, and that's it. No grays or anything like that, because sometimes grays have a different hue to them, which you don't really realize when you're using it all by itself. But if you were to put it side by side by just mixing black and white, let's just say Vallejo paint, go 1-to-1, and then you dab Vallejo gray of some kind next to it, you'll see that there's some off pigments. And sometimes there's some blues and purples mixed in there somehow, some way, and I'm just going to go for a totally desaturated look, straight out of a comic book. So that's how I'm going to paint that whole entire build. So even if I build different, like a Joker or Mr. Freeze army or something like that, I was also playing with the idea of like doing it like Sin City style, where I will have one piece of a model in color, but sometimes it's gonna be kind of hard to pick out, a focal point like that. So I'm just gonna stick to the black and white, and that's what I decided. Another game that I got was the Star Wars miniatures game, and I have the box set for that. And Boba Fett just came out this month, so definitely got to get my hands on Boba Fett. Huge Boba Fett fan. So I'll be painting that up as well. And this is all going to be broken up over months. May time is probably going to be the time that I focus in on the Star Wars for like May the 4th, and we'll try to work out some giveaways and stuff like that on top of it, and probably work on some giveaways also when I start doing the Batman stuff too, because that would be a lot of fun. I really like giving back to the community, so that's pretty much what's on the docket as far as all that goes. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is I am getting involved with a local game store called EMG, and EMG is actually a place that I played Magic. I am a huge Magic fan. Yeah, those are it is in color, but if you know me, I don't like to film in color, other than paint tutorials and stuff like that. But I played Magic there for a couple months, and it was a really good time. I still play Magic, just not as competitively, because I've been trying to focus on this. But I went there and I met a lot of really cool people, and it was a really awesome community to be a part of. So once I decided that I wanted to bring Project One Gaming back, I said to myself, it's time to give back to that community and really get involved in the store. So that's what I will be doing. I bought a display case to put some models in off the top of my head, and I will be posting videos about of the finished product as like showcase pieces. I did buy a Maw Crusher. I'm not putting the Orc Lord on top of it. I just wanted to display, like, let's just call him a dragon itself. Some Eldar pieces, some Space Marines are in there, but I did like conversion work on them. There's like a White Scar, a Blood Angel, and I believe an Ultramarine. And Killican is in there, and a Orc Stormboy, and just a few other different models. And one thing that is going to be a lot of fun that's really outside my comfort zone is I'm going to be working on some D&D models. And man, if you thought 40K was small, these D&D models are tiny, so it's going to be a really big challenge for me. But we're getting them on some secret weapon miniature bases, so that's going to be pretty sweet, because they have a big D&D group down there too, so I want to appeal to all. So, there will be some updates on all of that as well, but I want to try to show off without making too much noise, which I know I'm going to. And again, it's in black and white, and really it should be in color, but they hooked me up with some swag. They gave me like 3 or 4 shirts and this playmat. I'm gonna hold it up for a second. If we can get all that. Some custom artwork of the Planeswalkers. Big thank you, guys. Thank you so much for this. I will be using it occasionally on when I'm doing some video updates on projects that I'm working on, or some box reveals, stuff like that. I want to feature this map, but right now I have it in front of me because I can't stop looking at it, so it's got to be right here. So there's some more things that we're working on right now, and by we, I'm talking about myself and EMG, but we're trying to get the details locked in before I talk to you about it, but it's a big project that's near and dear to my heart, so stay tuned for that. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can stay notified on any time I put new content out, because there's going to be plenty of it. I plan on putting, obviously, any commissions that I'm working on will get videos. I'll do videos for just updates on personal projects like the kill teams and stuff like that. And then I'll do display videos as far as finished painting projects. And again, if you want to get your hands on this Zaku model, you got to subscribe, leave some comments below or on any video dealing with the Zaku. And yeah, so I hope somebody gets their hands on that, and soon. Some really exciting stuff, guys. So I'd be doing injustice to myself if you guys are interested in commissioning with me. Check out my social media outlets. It's the best place to get a hold of me, and project1gaming@gmail.com. I have a whole list of prices and everything like that, and some breakdowns for the prices, everything like that. And guys, I said in the PSA, I just dropped a lot of money on a new setup as far as brushes and paints and air gun and editing software. I'm not playing around. So if you guys, kind of dug my work from before, it has only gotten better, and I can't wait to show you some more of the content that I'm working on. So stay tuned for all that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Would you like to give Project One Gaming some long-term support? Then please head over to my Patreon page and check out the different pledge levels that unlock exclusive discounts and content. Patreon is PayPal and credit card secure, so you have nothing to worry about there. All pledge levels go directly to creating more content for all of you in the tabletop community.